was pure and full of light. You would never allow yourself to run away and leave those you love, even those you don't love, to face this without you. That is why you were chosen for this role. Her words were full of affection and support for me, but for some reason, I found a fraction of my heart pounding with frustration. Although I accepted my role and wouldn't turn my back, that didn't mean I was happy about it. How could I be? How was any of this fair to me? She tapped her finger to her chin thoughtfully as her lips pursed in thought. Although I always knew you would come to this conclusion, you did process all of this faster than I had anticipated. Her words hit me hard, and I found myself wiping at the tears of frustration welling up in corners of my eyes as I took a deep breath. I couldn't quell them as I tried to calm myself with each inhale. Instead, my temper rose, her logic swirling through my head on repeat. My chest burned with anger at the injustice I felt roaring through me like a bonfire igniting and being fanned to its fullest potential. So, because I was a good person who wanted to do the right thing, I was handpicked for a life of solitude? Then, the second I found my happiness, it was ripped away from me simply because that was always meant to be my fate? And it was just assumed that I would accept it? My fists clenched at my sides, my nails digging into the soft flesh of my palms as I tried to work through the tumultuous emotions. Yes, I wanted to fulfill my role in this war. But there was still a part of me that couldn't help but wonder why I had even received fated mates if the universe had known I wasn't going to be able to live a life with them. It just seemed nonsensical and cruel, no matter which way I tried to look at it. How was that fair to them? How was that fair to me? We were being robbed of our happiness, despite playing pivotal roles in ensuring victory in the war ahead. Why was this the thanks we got? Why didn't we deserve the chance to live out our lives together? I couldn't wrap my mind around how the fates could be so vicious as to tease us with the idea of this future, just to steal it away in an instant. Not to mention that my mates would struggle to live a life without me once I was gone. Our wolves would always be connected. We mated for life, and they wouldn't find another. My absence would drive each of my mates to his own early death. A death of heartbreak. The cruelest death you could inflict on a wolf. It would be slow and agonizing torture as they likely roamed the earth, never feeling the peace of being whole again. It was like being given the opportunity to taste a piece of the sun. The love of mates burned so brightly within you that when it was ripped away, it was like being plunged into a world with no sun to rotate around, dark and empty. Agony poured through me with the realization of the depth of bitterness I was feeling. It was immense and turned me against everything I stood for. Thoughts of saying fuck her roared through me, but I knew I couldn't let my resentment win. This wasn't who I was. I didn't like feeling this way, but at the moment I couldn't snap myself out of it. Maybe this had been a long time coming. I had done my best to roll with the punches and to grin and bear whatever situation came my way. But perhaps I was incapable of letting my emotions roll off my shoulder, like a simple drop of rain trailing down and away. Anger, frustration, and even jealousy of those who would have the chance to continue their lives rolled through me in continuous waves, crashing through me one after another, until I was left feeling battered and bruised, aching for answers to my questions that would soothe these heartbreaking emotions and thoughts. I had to ask. I needed some resolution. I allowed a single tear to roll down my face as my fists tightened further at my sides. My voice cracked as I bit my lip harshly before pointedly asking, "Why did you bless us with fated mate bonds if the fates knew this was to be my destiny? No, our destiny. You destined my mates to live a life of loneliness and agony, unable to bond again once I am gone. Tell me why. Help me understand why we deserve this." By the end, I was pleading with her to give me clarity, to give me a reason to accept this and rid my mind of this bitter resentment. That was just the tip of the iceberg of the shit I was furious about. What would happen to Lux and Morgan? Would my wolf soul pass with me? Would my mates watch after Morgan when I was gone? I couldn't leave her alone. I fucking swore to her I'd be there for her. Celine's smile fell at my question, for the first time showing she wasn't always a stoic statue of strength. Her slender fingers tucked a long strand of raven hair behind her ear before grabbing my hand, her milky white eyes gleaming with empathy. Squeezing it, she admitted softly, almost dejectedly, "I don't know how long each shifter's life is going to be. That is not for me to know. However, I knew you would need multiple mates to provide your soul with the strength that was needed of you. So that is what I provided when I handpicked